What's going on, everybody? This is Yummy Tape back again. Holy crap, this year has been super duper busy. What have I been doing this entire year? I have been non-stop collecting nothing but Thomas VHS and DVDs. I am majorly burned out. I'm so glad I am finally able to get this video out so all of you have the privilege to see what I have gotten since last Christmas. How this is going to work is I'm going to start with the VHS tapes first from US, UK, and Japanese that I have, as well as the DVDs US, UK, and Japanese. I will show each and every one in a bulk, and then I will go through them very quickly individually instead of just one at a time pulling them out single by single. Without further ado, let's get started. So to start this video off, we have the very well-known Thomas Gets Tricked. I have a clear case, which I believe this is an original 1990. I don't know who this person is, so just ignore that. But yeah, nothing really too special. I have another clear case. I want to say this is I think this is 1990 or 91. Do not quote me. I'm not exactly good with the dates on these. But yeah, this was another clear case that I had. I actually had an original, I want to say 1990 blue tape in this particular case, but I got another copy of the 1990 print, and I think it was either this or the other print that I have that I basically switched them. So my blue tape that was in this is now in its actual 1990 cover. And speaking of which, we also have the 1990. And if you look at the tape, I believe this is an Avon print. All right, and then the next one we have is a 1992 print. You can see that. And I believe this, I want to say this is, I think this one is a 91, if I believe. Like I said, don't quote me, I'm not exactly good on these. We have another 1992, but as you can see, it has the sticker on it. I was so happy when I finally got this. So yeah, I was putting that around for you guys. This is a red strand label. Then we have another 1992. This one is actually a lot cleaner. This is a black strand. Well, the 92s just keep on coming, don't they? Yep, I do happen to have another one. Ignore that name. And this one, actually, funny enough, there is something really weird about this. It's actually a 95 label. Nah, psych, I'm just kidding. That's actually a fake label if you couldn't already tell. And we also have another 1992 print, but this one is actually a really nice looking one. It's a Canadian print! Okay, down to the next couple of ones. We have, I believe I want to say this is 94. I think you all know what this one is. Yup, it is the very uncommon Time Life print. And then we move on to the lovely 95 prints. These are the ones that I mainly grew up with. So you got this beautiful cover. This is technically the tape that I grew up with. I think I said that already. Then we have another of these 95 prints, and I believe, if I'm correct, yep, this is another one. And I think one of these, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of these labels is an Echo. I'm not exactly sure which one. I want to say it's this one. I don't know. I have not tested any of these out. And then we have yet another one, and I believe, if I am correct, yep, this one has a red strand label. Next one we have is this. It is very badly written on, just so you know, but it is a Beth Allcroft label. And last but not least, we have a really good looking condition one. This one is actually the regular Brit Allcroft label. Alright, the next couple of tapes we have to start off with is James Learns a Lesson. So, if I pull this side out, this one is, I believe this is a 92. Little sun faded, you can see on the top, but not too badly damaged. This one, I do not remember what label this is. I want to say this is 91, 92? I do not remember, though. This one is yet again a 92. As you can tell, it's got the lovely gold sticker on it. I love these covers so much. Here, let me get it back up. In really good shape, I will say. And this one, too, also has a red strand label. Now, this one, again, this was given to me by another friend. You can see the case is cut up, and it's one in those, like, really weird plastic black kind of cases. This one is actually a very nice, here, I'll even do this for you guys. This one is actually a Canadian print. And next, I think you guys can tell what this one is. Oh, yes. but it is the lovely Time Life of James Learns a Lesson. And then finally, a cover that I've been dying to have with the proper, I should say, label. This is the other one that I grew up with. This particular 95 label. Alright, and then we have the later cover for James Learns a Lesson. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this one, yep, it is the very first ink label. And lastly, we have the exact same cover. And if I remember correctly, yep, this one is the last of the ink labels. Alright, and then we have 5 copies of Tenders and Turntables. This one is a regular 1990. It is actually, it's a top photo. And if I remember, I want to say this one is a 1991, again, don't quote me, I don't know. Then I also have the exact same cover, but as you look on the back, this one is a bottom photo. It is pretty much the exact same label. Alright, then we have a 92 of Tenders and Turntables. This one, as you can tell, has definitely seen better days. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure this one is a 91 label. Then we have the very hard to find, as far as I'm aware, of the Time Life Tenders and Turntables. And then lastly, we have yet again another 92. And I believe, if I'm correct, this one is a Black Strand label. Alright, this one I don't particularly have a lot of tapes for. But yeah, we have the original copy of Better Late Than Never. I actually really prefer this case to the duck cover. It looks so much nicer. I want to say this is yet again another 91. Then, of course, we do have the duck cover. This one's a bit shabby, as you can tell. And here, it is a Black Strand label. And lastly, it is the exact same cover, and this was given to me, once again, by another friend. This one is the Canadian print. Okay, same thing. I don't have a lot, but we have Thomas Breaks the Rules next. This one is the original 1990. It is the lovely red tape, and this is the only of the red tapes that I own. And then we have the 1992 print. This one is in much better condition than the other one I had. This is actually the Red Strand label, and like I said, it's in really nice shape. This one, on the other hand, yes, it is the same one. Again, it's a little bit shabby, but I have to be very, very careful because I don't know how well you can tell. It is a Black Strand, but yep, there it goes. The sticker actually comes off. I have yet to fix that. And of course, we cannot forget this. And again, it's just a little bit shabby over here, but nothing really too drastic. It is the Time Life Thomas Breaks the Rules. Okay, guys, here comes another very semi-big tape collection. We have one of my personal favorite tapes, Trust Thomas. And we start this off with the 92 print. Oh, well, that already showed. As you can tell, there are some inserts in here. This one actually has, it's a catalog, I guess you want to call it, of all the first edition tapes. That is pretty damn cool. Then they have an insert for all the Shining Time stuff, and they also, included with this, is a postcard that you could write to Sir Topham Hatt, and I guess this was your way of getting tapes? I believe so. And of course, before I forget, yep, it is a Red Strand label. Okay, here is the next 92 print that I have. A little banged up, as you can tell. And I believe this one, yep, this one is a Black Strand label. Yet another 1992 print. And this time, I had to get it because it's the gold sticker. This is a Red Strand. And yet again, here we go, spilling out the 1992 ones. This one is actually very badly sun-faded, as you can tell. Nothing really too drastic, though. It is the 95, I want to say this is the early 95 of Trust Thomas. And yet again, another 1992 box. And again, very badly sun-faded. This one is a Canadian print. And lastly, here comes my other 1992 print, but as you can tell, it is brand new sealed, and it's going to stay sealed. Okay, here we go with another copy of one box that I grew up with. This is one of my very, very favorite covers of Trust Thomas. This one is a Beth Allcroft label. Again, ignore the name on this. I don't even know what the hell it says. Yet again, another 95. And this one is actually an ink label. I have never seen an ink label with these particular covers, so I thought, why not? And here is my last 95 one. Oh, and if you may notice, yes, I actually got this signed by none other than Rick Sigelkow himself. This was at one of the most recent train shows in Edison, New Jersey. Me and my friend Nostalgia Dude 1998, we were both there, and we both got tapes signed. This is only one of them. You will see the other one later on in the video. And then finally, we have the later 2000s print of Trust Thomas. And this one, I already had like the regular standard ink label for, but this one is the other rare ink label. Then we always have the very lovely Thomas Gets Bumped. And this one is, I want to say this is 92, 93, I think. Yep, this is a black strand label. Alright, then we have yet again another copy that I grew up with, and I really, really love this cover. Right, it's just the regular sticker label. Once again, we have the exact same case. And this one is a Beth Allcroft label. And once again, this one is actually in really good condition. And this one, I believe, yup, it is a Brit Allcroft label. And then this one, just like my James Learns a Lesson, it is all cut up, and I think you guys know already what tape is already in here. It is the Canadian print. And then the last one, the later 2000s print of Thomas Gets Bumped. And of course, you guys know what the ink label looks like. Okay, now we have 5 copies of Thomas, Percy, and the Dragon. And this one, same deal like the Trust Thomas one. This is another one that also comes with the inserts. It's the exact same one. And I believe, is this a rich brand? Yes, it is. Now, this one, on the other hand, you can probably tell by this kid's first sticker. Oh yes, it is an early 1995 print. Then we have this print. Once again, this is the cover that I grew up with. This one was actually the last tape that I bought not too long ago. It's a Beth Allcroft, Thomas Percy and the Dragon label. And then this one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this one, yep, this is an ink label. And then lastly, we have the exact same cover, again, in a little bit shabby condition, but this one is a Canadian. Here is the only brand new copy that I have of Daisy. And this one is really nice looking. Like I said, it is a red strand label. I'm pretty sure, I want to say this is my unechoed print. Don't quote me on that though, I nearly got to test these. Alright, now we're talking about the good stuff. Now we have another one of my very personal favorites, James Goes Buzz Buzz. So here is the first cover. And this one is the 95 label. I want to say this is an early 95 print. I actually have, yet again, the exact same cover. And this one, I believe, yes, this is a very small Avon print. I'm actually going to show this one off. It is a blue ink of James Goes Buzz Buzz. I want to say this is an early, I want to say 95, 96. I do not remember entirely. I do know that there is a black ink of this particular style. Do I want it? Yeah. Am I really crazy to get it right now? No. But anyway, here we go. This is yet another copy of this tape. This one, once again, this is a Beth Allcroft, James Goes Buzz Buzz. We have the exact same cover, and I believe this one, yep, it is a Brit Allcroft label. And last but not least, this is probably one of my very favorite labels that I've gotten this year. The ink label of James Goes Buzz Buzz. I freaking love this. Alright, here we have another personal favorite tape of mine, Percy's Ghostly Trick. So we start off with the first, I want to say this is 94, I think, 93, 94. This one is an original QFE Percy's Ghostly Trick label. Once again, we have the exact same cover, and this one is an early 95 of Percy's Ghostly Trick. Okay, then we move on to a personal favorite cover of mine. Again, one that I grew up with. I love this so much. This one, very uncommon. You do not see this. It was a Beth Allcroft print. This one is actually, gonna be kind of a flex, because you don't see this one very often, but this one was actually in a lot given to me by one of my very good friends. It is the ink label of Percy's Ghostly Trick. I just wish I had the blue ink. Now, this one also, never thought in the light of day I would see this. It's in fantastic looking condition. Here is the very uncommon Canadian print of Percy's Ghostly Trick. Alright, so now we only have 2 copies, this time, of Thomas's Christmas Party. This one, obviously, it's just the newer release. Again, another one that I grew up with. This one is actually, we're starting off with this one. It's the Canadian print of Thomas's Christmas Party. And this one, this is the one I should have shown off first, but it doesn't matter. It's the same cover. This one is the Beth Allcroft. Like, as you can see, it's a tad dirty. I have not tested it, but I will. Then we have 3 copies of Rusty to the Rescue. This one is the original. Again, a little shabby, but I can work with it. This one is, would you look at that? We're starting this again. It is the Canadian print. Now this one, yet again, another cover that I grew up with, and I actually really like that shot of Rusty. We have this one. It is a Beth Allcroft Rusty. And also with this one is a Britt Allcroft Rusty to the Rescue. Alright, now we move on to Thomas and the Special Letter. So here we go. Here's one of the first covers, and this one, this is, I want to say this is the 95, 96 label. I think this is the first one. Alright, next one that we have, one in much better condition. This one is a Beth Allcroft Special Letter. Same exact case, but this time it is the Britt Allcroft blue sticker label. And then, once again, same case. This one is actually much darker. I just realized that. Like, holy cow, is that weird. This one is the Canadian. And lastly, this is the later 2000s print of Thomas and the Special Letter. I think you already know what it is. It's the black ink. Alright, and once again, just like Daisy, it is the original of Thomas and his friends help out. But, as you can tell, this one is actually a blue sticker Beth Allcroft label. I legitimately just got this morning. I am not even joking. I was on eBay not too long ago, and I saw a Gallant Old Engine print, and I noticed it had a blue tape. Well, my friends, I am here to tell you, here is the blue ink of Gallant Old Engine, and I know this particular tape is rare as hell. Alright, now I have 2 copies of Sing Along and Stories. This one, once again, this is the later 2000s print, but if you remember, I have a brighter yellow. This one is the darker shade of yellow, and it's no different. Actually, yes it is. I take that back. Not only is it the ink label, but as you see, there's actually an insert. And this tells you what tapes are on DVD or tape. And you get all these lovely pictures. And already, as you can tell, this is the original. And again, really shabby looking condition. But this one, yep, you guessed it, it's a Canadian. Here is Thomas Meets the Queen. And it is the lovely black ink. Now we start off with, again, 3 copies of Thomas and His Friends Get Along. Once again, here is the first print. This one is, yet again, it's a blue sticker. It's a Brit label. And then also, we have, again, later 2000s print. And this one, this is the first of the ink labels. Now, if you actually look a little closely, at these two tapes, you can see that the shades of blue are a little bit different. So with that said, here is the opposite color of Get Along, and this one is the later ink. Alright, now we have later 2000 prints of Thomas Comes to Breakfast, and this one, if I remember correctly, is this my ink? Yes, it is. This one may look like a regular black ink of Thomas Comes to Breakfast, but this one is actually the Kmart Master. Alright, next we have the exact same one. It's actually in really good shape, and if you look, it is the blue ink of Thomas Comes to Breakfast. And if I remember correctly, I think this one is yet again another Kmart Master. And then again, we have the exact same cover, but this one, I believe this one is actually really uncommon. It is the later ink. Yet again, my only single copy I have with this, it is the later 2000s print of A Big Day for Thomas. And this label, as you guys know, it's an ink. Now here we have 3 copies of Cranky Bugs. So here is the first. This one is a Britt Allcroft label. Next we have a very nice looking condition one. And once again, kind of a bitch to get, because I could never find it cheap. Now I finally own a blue ink. And then lastly, and I just realized this too, it's much darker. I believe, if I'm correct on this, yep, it is a Canadian. Okay, here we now have 4 copies of Races, Rescues, and Runaways. Here is the first cover. This one is a Brit label. Yet again, we have the exact same one. This one, if I remember, yeah, this one is actually a really weird ink label. Then, once again, same exact one. It's in really nice shape. This one, yep, another kind of a bitch to get. It is the blue Races, Rescues, and Runaways. And then this one, once again, shabby condition, but I'll live with it. Cover is gone on that. This one, I think you guys know what it is. Canadian. Alright, Light Gallant Old Engine. Now we have one of my very favorite tapes, 10 Years of Thomas. So here we go. Here is the original 99 cover. This one, like my blue, is a bold print, but it's the black tape. We have this one in excellent looking condition, and this one is the black ink. Same cover. This one, however, is the blue. And then we have, again, the same cover. Little bit shabby, but it doesn't matter. You saw this coming. It's a Canadian. Now we have Spills and Chills. This one, here we go. Another friend of mine gave this to me. It's in a protective sleeve. I would particularly take this one out, but I think you guys know what this one is. It is the blue sticker. Normally the blue stickers would have the original Magic Railroad trailer on it. I have a copy like this. This particular one, however, does not have the trailer. It just does the Brit logo and it goes straight to the stories. And then we have this one. Really nice looking shape. This one, once again, is a black ink. Same deal with this particular one. This one is a blue. Then we have this one. A little bit beat up, but nothing I can't handle. This is one of the later inks. I know this one is uncommon as hell. And then, of course, we have this. Yup. Did you even need to ask? Once again, singular tape. It is my only clean copy of Make Someone Happy, but this one has the very rare sticker label. And then, once again, we have 2 copies of Thomas's Christmas Wonderland. This one, I know this is, yep, it is the black ink. And then this one, given the darker color, I think you guys know. Oh yeah, GT, what is it? It's yet another Canadian print. So again, we're back to these singular tapes. And this is my better condition copy of Best of Percy. This is my favorite out of the best ofs. If you could see. This one's a very weird label. I have never seen a label look like that before. And then we have Best of Thomas. And this one is actually, this is the later ink label. And then we have Best of James, my second favorite. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. I did show you that I do have a particular label that looks like this. But if you look closely at the label, my other cover does not have Percy James and the Fruitful Day on it. This is actually the correct case. Okay, this is another one that was given to me by another close friend. It is one of the very rare samplers. We have 2 Thomas Adventures. Now, I actually have not watched this yet. I already know what's on it. But I think the only sampler that I have currently, I think that's the only one that I've watched once, I believe was my other sampler, Thomas's Train Yard Adventures. The others, I have not. And with that said, here is the other of the samplers, Thomas's Sodor Stories. This one is actually pretty freaking cool. I pretty much got this for a freaking steal. Here is my sealed copy of James and the Red Balloon. Alright, once again, singular tape. Here is Thomas's Snowy Surprise. And this one, actually, if you look, here's the first. And if I remember, once again, I have to show this. On my other copy, I believe it also says It's Only Snow. This one, I believe, this is the reprint title, quote-unquote. This is where it says Thomas's Snowy Surprise. Alright, then we have 2 copies of New Friends for Thomas. And this one, this is the first ink. And then this one is also, it is the later ink. Alright, here we go, guys. Here is another one of my sealed tapes. Here is the sealed copy of Hooray for Thomas. It's going to stay sealed, just like my Trust Thomas, just like my James and the Red Balloon. Once again, singular tape. This is another copy that I was able to get of Thomas's Sodor Celebration. I love this freaking tape so much. I'll show you. There is the label. And then also, we have the singular of Songs from the Station. This is one of my second favorite hit era tapes. This one, actually, if you look, this has black video reels on it. I've never seen a tape like this. Back again from my last video, I did not have this particular tape, and thank God I was finally able to. Here is Percy Saves the Day. Super, super glad that I finally have this release. And now we have 2 copies of Calling All Engines. I have the black ink. So here is another black ink. This is the Canadian print. And this one, once again, I had only picked up for about $8. I was not about to pass this up. And plus, I kind of like the white tape a little more. Here is the white red ink label of Calling All Engines. Alright, here we go. Singular release again. Here is Track Stars. I'm not exactly a huge fan of this. You have a lot of mediocre episodes on it. But, whatever. I kind of needed it on tape. It does have some inserts. I'm not even going to bother showing those, but there's the label. I actually do have a sealed copy of this. I do plan on selling it. I don't know really who wants it, but if any of you are interested, hook me up, because I only just want one of these. Here we go, guys. I have the tape copy of Tales from the Tracks. I never thought in a million years I was going to end up with this tape this year. I know how freaking rare this is, but holy cow. The fact that one of my friends paid $2 for this, that is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Okay, technically this is where I would stop the video, but there's actually one non-official one that I do need to show you guys. Most of you who were at the Edison Train Show saw me walking around with this, and the looks on some of your guys' faces was, I don't even know how to explain it. As I said, this is not an official release. This is all customly made, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to show this as part of my collection, because why the hell not? Here is a customly made Best of Henry. This was a custom-made tape that a very, very good friend of mine made for my birthday. And holy cow, I cannot believe how freaking legitimate this actually looks. Like I said, so many people at the Edison train show were freaking mind-boggled. They thought it was an actual tape. And I do know that this was a post that was blown all over on Twitter. And I know some people were actually fighting about it. I'm just clarifying it now. This is not a real release. It's just a custom. But given my very good friend's talent, yeah, it actually could pass off as an actual tape. I kind of wish it was real. I'll let you guys read the back. Let's make sure I have that focused. So yeah, I'm going to take a couple of seconds for you to look at the back. There's all the episodes on it. Got some really nice choices, I will say. So yeah, there it is, completely out of the case. And I'm going to show you, I'm telling you, this actually looks too freaking legit. Tell me not. That looks like an actual freaking label. I was actually considering getting this tape signed by Rick, but I wasn't too sure because I didn't know if I wanted to put it, like, on the physical, like, paper, because I didn't know if it would ruin it. I didn't know if it would get smudged if it was on the case. So I'm actually kind of glad that I just left it alone, because this, like I said, this is too beautiful to ruin. Like, it looks so freaking legit. But I'll tell you what, the guy who actually made this for me, Sir Duke 95, what a guy. Go give him a follow. Like, he has some pretty legitimate talent. Like, I thank him every day from the bottom of my heart for this. This is probably one of the best birthday presents I've ever got. Okay, like I said, I was going to stop the video here, but I figured this was too good to pass up. This is not a very completed set, but to me it's completed because this is literally all I wanted. Here's the full set of all of the Shining Time tapes. Now, I will show these two first. If you remember, I did show these at one point. I actually did have the original covers of both Stacy Cleans Up and Schemer Alone. The original cover I have since then sold to a friend. I still have the original copy of Stacy Cleans Up, but I am trying to sell it. If any of you guys are looking for a copy, hit me up and we'll discuss. But I had to get these two because it honestly just matches a little better with the other styled art. And I kind of wish they just would have made more of these. Like, these look sick. Like, I absolutely love them. Once again, here is Bully for Mr. Conductor. This was actually my very, very first Shining Time station tape that I ever bought off of eBay. I paid like $8 for it. Alright, and then we have Becky Makes a Wish. Because there is no actual volume number for it, I just like to put it in the middle. I kind of consider this as number 5, even though it's not technically. Here is the very rare Sweet and Sour TV Teddy tape. And then we have Billy's Party. One of the hardest ones to get for a very cheap price. We have Mr. Conductor's Evil Twin. And here we go, folks. This is by far my favorite Shining Time tape. Once again, signed by Mr. Rick Sigelcow himself. My very favorite tape of Schemer's Special Club. I remember when I was talking to Rick and I was telling him how much I love Schemer as a character and how he used to make me laugh all the time. Even he told me Brian O'Connor was a wonderful man to work with, and even he said this was actually one of his favorite episodes. So I'm truly, truly honored that Rick signed not only one of my Shining Time tapes, but another one of my personal favorite Thomas tapes. So Rick, if you ever come across this, thank you so much. You were such a wonderful gentleman to get to know. Alright, and then we have, this is the last cover, I believe, of 'Tis a Gift. I know there's 2 other copies. I really can't be freaking bothered to look for the other ones because those 2 are extremely rare. This one is actually becoming really rare too, and I'm going to tell you what, if you guys are looking to get a complete Shining Time set for yourself, be on the lookout because these do not come up cheap. And lastly, of these Shining Time tapes, this is one that I have been dying to have. This is the only one that I want because the Lullabies one I know is extremely rare. This is the Jukebox Band, A Day in the Life. Now, this is the only particular one I wanted because there's a couple of the songs on here that are some of my favorites. Like, I was not about to pass this tape up. Okay, guys, now we are only down to just the final few. This one does technically count as one of the final US ones I have. I do have a spare of this, but it is going to another close friend of mine. Here is another really good condition clamshell of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Here's the tape for it. Okay, now we can physically move away from the US ones, because now there are some UK ones that we have to go through. Thankfully, there's not a lot, because, well, the market is shit. But some of my very good friends actually helped me get these, so let's go through some. So first up, we have the 90-minute bumper special of Thomas's Christmas Party. Got some pretty legit episodes on here. Next, we have one of the first tapes that I bought. Here is Spooks and Surprises. I absolutely adore this freaking cover. We have some pretty lit episodes on here as well. And then we have Time for Trouble. Again, a pretty decent selection. Here is the Escape tape. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I love this tape cover. And then we have the 100-minute special of the Thomas's Train UK tape. Got some pretty lit ones on here. I'm actually not really too bothered all that much that the logo is kind of ripped. I might actually get a replacement case for this soon, but not anytime soon. I have been after this tape, I want to say, a good 5 years, and holy cow, I actually have it. Here it is. The beloved Ghost Train tape. Finally in this woman's grasp. I will say, this is kind of another flex. Like, can I just get a halo effect on this thing? Next up, we have one of the My Little Thomas and Friends. This is My Little Thomas and Birdie. This one is actually a bit strange, I will say. You have, 4 really good ones, but bulgy? Seriously? Next, we have another tape that I have been dying to have for the longest time. We have The Fogmen. And I, once again, love the coloring of this tape. It's beautiful. And lastly, for the UK tapes, we have Brave Little Engines. I think these are all season 6 episodes. Some decent, some but you live with them. Now, as for these specific tapes, I am on the hunt for a few of them. I would rather prefer these on DVD mostly, given some episodes that I'm looking for. But hell, I'll give or take. So, these are actually 2 of the Japanese tapes. And here we have a duck cover. I think this one's from A Close Shave, Volume 8, I believe. Once again, I do not remember what is exactly on this release. I know I was told it like a gazillion times. I do not remember. I have yet to test these, because thank God these work in US players. Thank God I don't need a PAL. And lastly, out of the tapes, is another cover that I've been dying to have. This is Volume 2, I want to say, of Series 4. I'm pretty sure I know what's on here. I'm pretty sure it's Bullseyes. You Can't Win Special Letter. I know there's another one. I do not know what it is. I think it might be Bulldog. I don't remember though. But yeah, I've been after this cover for a really, really long time. Like I said, I want some more Japanese. Some of them are a little harder to find. Some of them are a little bit easier. I would just prefer it if I had some of these on DVD, because I feel like it's a little bit easier. Alright, so that concludes the VHS portion of this video, but we are not done yet. Let's take a look at the DVDs. So the first DVDs I have, we have the whistle cover of Best of Thomas, along with the Lionsgate print of Best of Thomas. I actually, swear to God, I would really like to play the Best of Thomas for you, but sadly, the nose does not work. It is warbled like hell. You can't even hear it. So yeah, here is the back. Okay, then we have a reprint copy. This is for Make Someone Happy. They call it Really Useful Engines. This one is actually a very strange one. Once again, this is an Anchor Bay print. It is the whistle cover for Best of James. James's nose actually does become a little stiff. I got it to work before, but yeah, he doesn't want to work now, unfortunately. And then we have Best of James. One is an Anchor Bay, one is a Lionsgate. There's the back for both of these prints. I actually am trying to sell this because it actually has 2 Best of James DVDs in here. I tested them both out a long while ago and they both work great. I think there was only one minor little hiccup and then it was completely normal. But yeah, if any of you guys are looking for a Best of James DVD, hook me up because I'm trying to sell this. And then we have a Lionsgate print of Cranky Bugs. Next comes an Anchor Bay print of Spills and Chills. Now we actually have 2 covers of the Sounds of Sodor, Thomas and His Friends Help Out. This one is my bad condition copy. The plastic on this is, as you can tell, it's just like completely ripped off. I had to tape it because it was bugging the hell out of me. The buttons, unfortunately, do not work. But this one, however, I bought this, I think, for $5 off of eBay. And I'm actually going to play a little bit of these just so you guys can hear the buttons.
Hello, I'm Thomas, and I am Sodor's #1 blue engine. I'm Percy, and I'm the green #6 engine. I'm Bertie, the red bus. I am the director of the railway, and responsible for making sure the engines are always right on time and really useful.
Next we have, I want to say this is a reprint for Thomas and His Friends Help Out. I think for now this is the only one I'm going to show that I'm actually going to open. This is an Anchor Bay print of Percy's Chocolate Crunch, but this one, if you take a look, this one actually has all of the inserts in it. I've had this DVD so many times, I have not seen this insert. It's actually, that's pretty cool. Now we have an Anchor Bay print as well as a skinny case for Thomas's Snowy Surprise. If you actually look, you can tell the difference. On the left, on the skinny case, it says it's only snow. Here, let me see if I can focus that. Yep, you look on the left, it says it's only snow on the skinny case. On the right case, it says Thomas's Snowy Surprise. So yeah, look at that. Both covers, one with the mistaken title, one with the proper title. And then we have a skinny case for New Friends for Thomas. This one, I believe, yep, this is a Lionsgate print. I just had to double check. I'm pretty sure everyone feels the same. I don't really like this cover because what the hell is up with Spencer's double funnel? It looks wrong in so many ways. Right, then we have a skinny case for Hooray for Thomas. I actually don't really care for this DVD or tape all that much. It's kind of boring, but then again, Season 7's boring, so yeah. Then we have Thomas's Sodor Celebration. I actually, once again, I do have this cover, but I got this particular cover because if you look, my cover does not have this particular photo of Thomas, and I really like that shot. I have 3 DVD copies of James Learns a Lesson. This one is the very uncommon Anchor Bay print. This was actually a real bitch for me to get. I actually thought the Anchor Bay was a little more common. It's not. It's either the Universal or I think the Lionsgate is actually more common. But yeah, you can't really find the Anchor Bay for like really good prices, and if you do, you're about to pay a pretty penny for it. It's kind of retarded. Here actually is the Universal DVD, and you could definitely see how different it is compared to the Anchor Bay. And then here is the skinny case for Learns a Lesson. I actually forgot, I do have one more of Learns a Lesson. This is the Learning is Fun cover. Once again, I had another copy of this, I think, a couple months ago, and I sold it to another one. It actually had a crack in the case, but they, thank God, were not too bothered by that. But I also gotta say, what the hell is with that double funnel? Then we have the skinny case for Percy Saves the Day. Alright, next we have 2 of 10 Years of Thomas. One of them is the Sounds of Sodor cover, the other one is the skinny case. So here, I will actually, there's the skinny case first. I remember when I tested these were a little warbly sounded, so here, let's give them a test. So there's, yeah, so there's Thomas, there's James, and then here's Percy's, and then we have Harold. That's probably very faint. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. And then we have 2 DVDs of Thomas Comes to Breakfast. One's a skinny case. One on the left is an Anchor Bay print. There we go. I'll show you guys the backs. Once again, 2 DVDs. We have Track Stars. One of them is the Hit Entertainment, and then the other one is a Universal print. Again, I don't particularly care for this release, because, like I said, it's mediocre as hell. And if you look at how freaking different that is. I actually didn't even notice that. Next, we have a skinny case of Thomas Gets Bumped. Then we have a skinny case for Thomas Percy and the Dragon. And then we have one cover that took me a very long time to get, but thankfully I was able to. This is the glitter slipcover case of Thomas's Halloween Adventures. If you guys remember, I actually just recently did a Halloween review with 3 of my good friends. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. That video was a lot of fun to make. And this one is practically sealed. Here is the glow-in-the-dark slipcover case for Thomas's Halloween Adventures. It actually looks like a really cool cover, but I gotta ask, why the hell are they using a CGI Thomas on this thing? Like, don't do that. Next we have a skinny case for Trust Thomas, and one of my very favorites. Next we have an Anchor Bay thick case for A Big Day for Thomas. Looks a little bit shabby. Now, this one I normally see in either like a red or a black case. I put it in a blue because I actually think it makes it pop out a little more. Here we have a thick case of Milkshake Muddle. A very, very mediocre release. Especially when you got something like Mighty Frickin' Mac on here. I hate that episode so much. Not to mention, but I think New Engine is also on here. I think given by the picture. I don't remember because I don't normally watch this DVD. Yeah, 2 sucky episodes. I absolutely hate them. This one is actually kind of interesting. This is just a DVD rip from a George Carlin Gets Tricked that I got. It's just in a normal little plastic case. I have tested this out one time, and it actually plays really well. Next comes 2 DVDs that we have for Thomas and the Toy Workshop. These 2 were kind of a pain to get, particularly the skinny case for it. Now, for the Sounds of Sodor cover, I actually did have one of these, but neither of the buttons worked. But these actually work really well, and let's play a couple of them, shall we? So yeah, there's the theme. Oh yeah, I forgot, that was actually Gordon's. It just a little whoomp. Yeah, his button is a little, fakaked right now. Then you hear Gordon's wheels. Another one that's, like, really fakaked. And then you have a railroad crossing. Next comes a skinny copy of Ultimate Christmas. I do know that there's actually a glittery slipcover for this. I'm, like, really trying my damnedest to find it. Next, we have a DVD that I never thought I was going to find for a cheap price. I only paid 99 cents for this thing. It is the Sounds of Sodor, Thomas and the Treasure. Now, let's see if these buttons are a little, screwy. Oh, you can hear... Oh, yeah, you can definitely hear Thomas's whistle is, very, very wonky, I will say. Here's James. Yeah, that one sounds really bad. Here's Percy's. That one sounds really bad. And then Harold's is like very, very faint. Now these ones are actually pretty interesting. I have 3 copies of the DVD from Mud Glorious Mud. This one, here's the sealed Collector's Edition Sounds of Sodor Mud Glorious Mud DVD. Here's the screwy part. I am going to leave it sealed, but as you see me pressing these buttons, they don't work very well. So this must have been sealed for like a very long time, and maybe like, you know, the battery just died out. I have no idea, but I have no intention on opening this up. I really want to keep this just sealed. So here's something really interesting about this one. This DVD was actually my original Anchor Bay print. As I told you, this was the case where I used to have a little trouble closing it because it wasn't secured all the way. But recently, Nostalgia Dude 1998 and he had the Lionsgate print and I had the Anchor Bay print. So basically, we switched. So he has my Anchor Bay print. Now I have the Lionsgate. And then lastly, we have the Universal print of Mud Glorious Mud. Lastly, here was the DVD that finally capped off my US DVD collection. Here is the Birthday Express. This was the final one that I needed. Thank God I have it, but it's a still sucky release. Here is the sampler DVD for Fun with Thomas. This is actually a really fun release. Alright, now these particular DVDs are the 2-in-1 bonuses, because I know I showed you guys that I had ones like A Big Day for Thomas and Trust Thomas, you know, I had Gets Tricked and Ghostly Tricked, you know, ones like that. So here are some of the ones that I was able to get. Here is the double of Thomas and the Toy Workshop with Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. I know this one is kind of uncommon to find for a really cheap price. Here is James Goes Buzz Buzz with Thomas and the Special Letter. And then we have Thomas and the Treasure with Thomas, Percy, and the Dragon. What a very, very odd choice, I will say. Once again, another really odd choice. We have the double feature of On Site with Thomas and Races, Rescues, and Runaways. And then we have the double feature of New Friends for Thomas with Spills and Chills. Here is the double Steamies vs. Diesels with Thomas's Sodor Celebration. Here is my sealed copy of the Best of James and Best of Thomas double feature, which is so weird too, because why did they only just make a DVD for these two, but you don't have one for Percy and Gordon? I find that really hard to believe. Once again, another sealed copy. This was, I think, found over at a Goodwill by another friend of mine. Here's the sealed double feature of Thomas's Halloween Adventures with Percy's Ghostly Trick. And once again, this was found over at another Goodwill store by another friend of mine. This is the Thomas Gets Tricked with Thomas's Halloween Adventures double feature. Now we get almost to the nitty-gritty stuff. Here is technically a re-release for Sing Along and Stories. This is the Hop On Board Songs and Stories DVD and CD pack. There's the CD. It's technically, if you want to call it, a music sampler. And then you have the Hop On Board DVD, which again is just Sing Along and Stories. It's nothing really too special. I'll bet some of you guys are waiting for me to get to the movies and the UK stuff. Well, we are getting there, guys. But I'm going to start you guys off with this. This is the French-Canadian DVD copy of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Then we have two copies of Calling All Engines. This one on the left is the Learning is Fun case, while the other one is the Maple Pictures released. Obviously, that is a Canadian release. Have not seen these two pop up in a very, very long time, so glad I got these for really, really good prices. Let me show you guys the back. Yeah, two very, very different covers. Okay, guys, here we go. The nitty-gritty UK ones I know you guys have been dying to see. Here is the Carrie case for Peep Peep Party, and you actually have a lot of really good episode choices on here. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. Yeah, like I said, very, very lit choices. Two really good songs. Oh, wow, this is a really fun DVD. Next, just like the tape release, I actually got this at the same time as I did the tape. Here is the Fogman DVD. Love it, love it, love it so much. Here is the UK Happy Little Helpers DVD. At some point, I actually do want to go after the tape for this. I'm not sure how uncommon it is. I think it's actually pretty common. Don't know, I have to double check. Now, this DVD actually keeps my complete series very consistent, as I gave away my orange-red color copy to another friend of mine. So now here is the other release of the complete Series 8. By the way, one of the best series from the hit era. Argue with me all you want, Series 8 is really overhated. It's a great season. Okay, here we come into the CGI UK DVDs. First up, we have UK Team Up with Thomas. I can get that to focus so you guys can see the episodes. There we go. Alright, next up we have Tales from the Rails. One that I've been dying to have for a really long time again. Alright, next up we have Full Steam to the Rescue. And yeah, I do know that there is one bad episode on here. It is Rocky Rescue. It's a really, really stupid episode, I know. But there is this lovely thing called the skip button. Because all the other ones on here are pretty freaking lit. And next, we have Danger at the Docks. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but the DVD in here is very loose. I'm thinking of actually replacing the case, because I do not need this DVD to get scratched. Here is UK Digs and Discoveries. I know, it's a very mediocre release, I know. Here is The Royal Engine. Again, so glad I have this. I think this was actually a really good episode to cap off the series. Some people might agree, some people might disagree, but you know what? That's fine. I also do know that, yeah, Crowning Around is on here. Again, they call it a skip button for a reason. Okay, this one is a slipcover of Blue Mountain Mystery. It is a Lionsgate print. I will say, out of all the Nitrogen era, Blue Mountain Mystery, hands down, best movie. It is so freaking good. Next up, we have the UK Tale of the Brave. Very, very great movie. And next, we have the UK DVD for Journey Beyond Sodor. I was actually not planning on getting this, but I've actually not sat entirely through the UK Journey Beyond Sodor, so one point or another, I actually am going to give this another shot, but I still prefer the US dub. Yes, my friends, I actually do own one other Blubba DVD. Yes, I know the Thomas face on it is really creepy. Gotta zoom in on that. But yeah, the reason why I actually got this is because, once again, I actually really like some of the episode choices on here. Okay, so these two I'm going to show you both at the same time. These are two Japanese, and I'm so glad I have these. I actually really wanted this one with the, I want to say that's a Thomas and the Guard photo. I have been after this cover for so long. I don't know what it is, but that's actually one of my really favorite shots of Thomas. Like I said, don't ask me what it is. I just love that shot. And then again, I got the, I want to say this is season 6, I think, Given Salty. I have not had a chance to watch these yet because, well, yeah, I have been very, very busy. Only 2 Japanese DVDs that I have so far. I do plan to get more. When, I do not know. Here is the Blu-ray copy of Blue Mountain Mystery. I have only tested this at least twice, and it plays absolutely beautiful. Then we have the Blu-ray of Tale of the Brave. This one actually does not come with the DVD copy. It's just the Blu-ray. I'm thinking of one day getting this replaced. Right now, I'm perfectly fine with just the Blu-ray. Next, we have a slipcover Blu-ray of Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. Really freaking epic movie. I played this again twice. Plays absolutely beautiful. And lastly, out of the Blu-rays, I have The Great Race. There is actually one minor hiccup, I think, with the Blu-ray. Right before Thomas meets the Flying Scotsman, it has one little moment where it freezes, and I'm not sure if it's just my player, or it's the disc. I have no freaking idea. One point, I might replace this. I don't know exactly when. Okay, guys, we are nearly done. This one, again, given to me by a person that I no longer talk to. It's a very shabby wooden railway pack for Best of James. And if you look, it comes with a black James. I do actually have one of those completely sealed. So it's actually nice to have one that's not in the case, not actually counting this. The next one I have to show you, I actually got this for a pretty steal price while me and Nostalgia Dude were actually out. We both came across this one really cool wooden train pack that regularly on eBay I am not about to pay like over $25 for this, so I got this for a steal price of about $5. Here is the sealed wooden train pack for Thomas the Snowy Surprise that comes with a wooden railway Mavis. Very, very super cool. I had actually just gotten this recently. This is one sealed pack that I have been dying to own. Here is the sealed pack for Thomas' Sodor Celebration with a wooden railway salty. I know normally this would come with a gold Thomas. I've seen a gold Thomas with this pack, but I've never seen it come with a salty, and that's what I thought made it really unique. So that's exactly why I got it. So yeah, there's the back. I'm so happy I finally have this. This was actually given to me a long while ago. I want to say this was in the summer, I believe. Here is the wooden train pack of Percy Saves the Day with a very beautiful looking metallic Percy. This one is really nice. Here's the train pack for Calling All Engines with a bronze diesel. Very nice. I've seen this particular one come, I think it was either with Bill or Ben, so I think this one is actually rare in a sense. Here is the sealed Sing Along and Stories pack with a gold Thomas. That's exactly why I bought it. Actually, funny story, when I bought this, what was advertised was a Ben, but somehow I ended up getting a gold Thomas with it. So, yeah, steal win, huh? Here is Trust Thomas, but if you look up there, it looks like it might be a zoo car. I've actually not seen that, so that's exactly why I picked it up. It's very unique looking. Why they would do a caboose like this, or car, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's, yeah, very strange for a wooden railway. Here is the sealed pack of A Big Day for Thomas with a wooden railway Skarloey. This is specifically why I bought it. I really wanted a brand new Skarloey because the current one I have is really chipped to shit. That is specifically why I had to buy this particular DVD. And here we have one of my very favorite sealed bonus packs. Here is the sealed pack for Percy's Ghostly Trick with a wooden railway Thomas. I actually really would have preferred it if it had a Percy instead, because it would have made more sense, but give or take, I'll take a new Thomas. Doesn't matter to me. I say that about a wooden railway Percy because, funny enough, here is the sealed pack for Thomas Gets Tricked, but with a wooden railway Percy. I have seen Thomas here, so it's a bit strange to see Percy on here. Seriously, why didn't they just take this Percy and just move it to Percy's Ghostly Trick, have that Thomas in here? It would have made a lot more sense. So yeah, here is the back. But yeah, still, regardless, nonetheless, nice little pack to have. Here is the sealed James Goes Buzz Buzz wooden railway pack with what looks like, I think is a Sodor Honey Company car. Never seen a wooden railway like this. I got it because it was, like, extremely unique. It would have been cool if they made a bigger pack like this and there was a James. I think they make other engines for this, but I've only so far just seen this car with this pack. Same place where I got the Snowy Surprise, I bought this at the exact same time, and I'm not willing to pay over like $20, $25 for it. I bought this for a steal price of $5. Here is the sealed Ultimate Christmas pack that also comes with a wooden Thomas. I was actually, not too long ago, I was trying to go after, there was a Thomas wooden railway with a Santa hat that actually came with this particular pack. Sadly, I missed out on it, but maybe another one will come up again, who knows. And last, but certainly not least, this one is not technically sealed, but I am going to keep it just the way it is. Here is the wooden railway pack of the Holiday Express with what looks like icicles, I think on like either a caboose or some kind of holiday car, whatever the hell it is. I actually have tested out this DVD, like I've actually taken it out of the box. It's not a thick case, it's a slim case, which I actually kind of needed, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, it's technically not sealed, but I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Just leave it at that. Now, before I end off this video, I do want to give a couple of shout-outs to some very close friends of mine who did help me get this far in my collection. The names are as follows: Oliver 11 GWR, Nostalgia Dude 1998, Random Kit Entertainment, Sir Duke 95, Trains, Brains, and Gains, Lucy Rose, Emerald Green Studios, Morris, The Everything 611, and Donald 9 and Douglas 10. Each and every single one of you, I want to thank so much for helping me get this far. I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for either of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, well and truly. So with this year finally coming to a close, I will say I'm going to be taking a very long break now from collecting anything Thomas related. As I said, this collecting really burned me out. I actually have a lot more collections that I really want to focus on, and just other things that are just not Thomas related. However, if I do happen to come across an item that I'm looking for, I will grab it, but only if it's for a cheap price. Let's just call this my semi-retirement. But anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you who tuned in, and I will see you all very soon.